Good morning. Alright. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I turned the music down because I actually had it in the background the other day. But normally I find that it can be a little bit distracting. Oh, actually, there's one thing I almost forgot about here. I've been working on exporting the Twitch API stuff, and I've got this like currently partly modified. To support that, alright, well, there were actual code changes here, so I should probably... write deleted files, because they got moved into the module. Even though it's not necessarily as usable of a state, I should probably checkpoint this before moving on. Alright, I'll delete. Extracted Twitch API to own module. And now what I want to do is we had done this by referencing a separate source. Now what I want to try is, can we fake out Elm package? Can I remove this and add Twitch API. Okay, I don't know what happened there. And then we actually go for file copies. I'd like to have a separate window so I don't have to lose context there. Well, no, actually, it's this entire folder. So this goes somewhere in Elm stuff. So we've got build artifacts. So I presume this is... Oh. Oh, that's going to copy the Git repo, which is... maybe I could use that to move stuff back and forth. So... Dog and Lake, thank you for the host. Did I don't even see the outline. Did I bump that down sometime? Interesting. Okay. To laugh or to cry. Looks like you had a good stream sometime. Alright, so Elm... Well, I guess the first step is... Hostable. Will that even compile? Oh. Could not find. Into love, Elm Twitch API, Elm Twitch API. Elm stuff packages. Tools parser. Oh, it goes by version. So we need to do 1.0.0. Move that in there. This does use a source. Oh, exact dependencies, which comes from elm make. Or elm package. Published versions of this package, yeah. So so elm package doesn't install doing that. Now, can we continue to confuse the elm make? Twitch API. File does not exist. Elm stuff packages. Oh, no, I got the... Oh, okay, so it's not... That's straight up... Well, alright, so actually... The easiest way to fix this... It's actually easier than moving the folders around. Okay, we can fool elm... yeah, we could fool elm make, but not elm package. So we can kind of push forward with this. It's just not something that any random person is going to be able to pick up and use. Format. Update. Well, in a way, the other way was easier for a random person to use because it's just like, well, get parallel directories, you're fine. This makes it look more like it's gonna look. And we're actually using the package. But it's not actually a published thing you could just get. Alright, and that's just a copy of it. So Elm package might clean it up when it gets the chance. Oh well, that was an interesting little exercise. So what we actually want to do, so we need to add an interactive way to add people. We want import and export, and somewhere in there we're going to have to be actually storing the data, the user list in local storage so you don't have to import it every time. You can just export it and then like import if you need to go to a different computer. It will probably be easier to do the interactive add first, because that way it won't be preserved. And I can, keep on testing with something, which I guess has the unfortunate effect that I'm going to kind of have to be putting in random things, and not only do I need to have a way to remove users. Okay. So right now we have a manual list of users. So this will for import and export, we'll need to have like some sort of probably encoder decoder to JSON. But to add a user, Asaret Gaming, thank you for the host as well. To add a user, we're going to need something in the UI to have a channel name box. So that's going to be up around our refresh button. Pending requests. Oh, okay, in the header. You know what? My other projects have schedule from videos has a channel box sort of like this. Oh. Label. And I'm probably going to need to do something to kind of put these all in put these two together somehow, because this might be a little bit janky. All right, so that's not a very well model.login. It's not something we have. So we have no placeholder here. We might not have target value here. And we're going to need, it's not set username. Add channel string. And yeah, I can see about some sort of partial search match later. I don't know if there's a API for that. Got to bed too late last night. Hostable, because I think I've hidden it, but now it's going to be all mad at me for... Oh, I also don't have JSON decoder. Blah. And on. And now we need to handle a message. So in our update function, we have to handle every message. I mean, I guess you could have a throwaway case, but then you wouldn't get these helpful error messages that, hey, you forgot to do something. So all the stuff for the main app, and then we have UI. UI view dot add channel. Let's do a little dummy here for right now, because I actually have to look at my data structures now and see how we would add this. Nope. And name. All right, so what does our model look like? So we have a list of users, a list of games. We have missing users, pending users. And user is a... Oh, we do persist users. Okay, that's ID display name. I think the tags are currently coming only from Hostable. Because I never need to persist that. You just imported the user list and it had the data, you could correlate it. So we are going to have to look up the user. And this is going to be a whole process. Or resolve loaded state, we did this. Ooh. Okay, that can give me a little box. And yeah, this is in fact terrible. Probably going to want to maybe lay those in opposite corners. We've actually done nothing with that right now. Oops, we're in mobile view. So that's a header with, yeah, so we're going to need some substructure. So we're going to want div class. I can't think of anything besides refresh right now, even though it's also got the network requests. No, actually no, because we need you and you and you. Div class. All right, that compiles. Actually, not. Maybe it's only add channel. Would be the simplest thing to do. I don't know if that's actually like. Oh, it actually, yeah, that takes it out of the flow. Header. Position absolute. Or not absolute. Relative. To make it a position anchor. That does not help. It actually, float actually takes it out of the flow. Okay. Now, what I understood about Flexbox is that all items get well, I guess if I just have some spacing, that'd be okay. Or justify space between, space around. So header is display flex, add channel. Well, everything in it is implicitly a child. Justify content. Okay, and then maybe I'll do space around or something at some point, but that gets things essentially out of the way. Now, data model. My ultimate goal is to add this to the user list. User list.users. You also use that directly. Do we have access to the model here? Yes. So that'll be doable. So I guess I got a step ahead of myself. What we really need to do, list user, what are you? List.append. Yeah, I've really been using that as just the tag storage right now. I may have to rethink that model as we go forward here. For one thing, I'll be able to actually store the Twitch user IDs. Because one of the little gotchas is that since I put in usernames for ease of maintenance, the application caches the user and has the user ID, so it will work through name changes. But then if I ever have a cache reset on my local storage, we'll lose the tags. And then if we have a cache reset, then we'll lose the user entirely. So I probably do need to work on unifying users, which means I might need to just checkpoint the channel name and... because it's not really in the way, it's just not going to do anything. Add input box for new channel name. And actually, I already see a issue with this because I copied this code from something else. It is not your channel name. It is add channel. Not hooked up. Oops. So I need to do something with my data model here. So this is essentially going to blow the cache because we're going to have a complete change of persist format. Well, if I change my persist user to just hold that, then I just have to... We'll say step 1 is update persist user to hold that. To hold that format. Then we have to redo all our updates. For the time being, yeah, it has been convenient to store this tag separately. But what we're essentially doing, or how does the persist save state persist.encode model.users model.games model.events? Persist is list user list game. Persist.encode. ID display name. So we could make, so the value itself can have, well, user list has just been a lightweight structure. And then I think decode is going to be mad because I'm trying to pass this as a constructor, as a constructor. So now we have to have succeed empty list to make it compatible. Oh, and also import user. Okay. Hostable elm. Import user, helix user to user. That will work. So in the short term, I might want to pass, well, it's actually globally available. Okay, that compiles. So the transient method here is that, where do we use user list? Oh, it's only used in the view right now. List.filter map, comment if match. Maybe list string. Comment if match username. String, list string, string, that's the user data. That does get you a list of strings, which is the format of the tags. So I might just duplicate this, since in the long run it will be part of the user. We can just take it out. Although this is only going to be on import, I'm going to need some sort of process that will go through all the users, add that, and then save them to get it fully. And we're not even trying to do a full data import right now, but import user. Import game. Tags equals comments for stream. User dot display name. Yeah, and we're doing all the case adjustment there. User list. What? User list. Okay. Okay, that's a better completion. All right, so that one we import, but I don't think we're going to import. Yeah, only when looking up a user. Oh, it must be user list. Takes care of that. Now, receive loaded. Persist.decode persist. Receive loaded state. Do send decode.string persist decode error to maybe the loaded event. Resolve loaded state. Okay, so we go loaded. We do this. Resolve loaded state would be kind of where we do this. So current users. Desired usernames. Yeah. Current users, missing users. This is assigned to current users. So what if we take model.users, filter it, and then list.map. This is you replacing tags with import user with that. Resolve loaded. It's a very long line. Oh. We used a U here. Okay, successfully generated. So now in our view, where we do comments for stream, this should just be model stream is a stream. Okay, we've got a name. Display name for model.users Oh, so this is actually a thing where we have to look this up based on... Right. Yeah. List user. Well, this is starting to look more like we want to do a... get user for. List.filter map. But, oh, that filter maps to the name. So we would want to find the matching ID. Then we could use that for both the display name and the tags in that case. With default unknown. So user, let's be more of a straight up filter. But users is model.users. But this is a filter, so we still have to do, yeah. We still have to do some dancing here. And it could not be found. Not really mapping it to anything. We've still got that, but... we do have to take list.head and then, oh. Which means that this is a maybe user. This is more of a maybe user. And then name is going to be maybe user, maybe dot map. Display name, maybe dot with default unknown. And tags is going to be maybe user map tags, maybe dot with default unknown. Let's see how much we messed up there. Are we missing a, yep. So this will actually look up all the, okay, we're still getting tags. I probably haven't done anything to actually force a save, but we're still kind of overriding it from the data anyway. Application. And it always crunches this down and hides the other thing. Oh, I'm not, yeah, I'm not encoding this yet. Assuming that there's anything we actually do that causes a state update. Well, I don't need to preserve this yet for what I'm doing. When I start trying to add tags, I'll need to be able to preserve it. Alright, that's a step. It's a baby step, but it's a step. Oh, which means that view doesn't need this comments for stuff anymore. Store tags with user record not yet persisted. And I actually have to figure out, yeah, adding a channel here is easy. Adding the tags is actually going to make this a little bit more complicated than I was initially expecting. So now we need a workflow where when we add something, it will actually process through. Because right now we only have to do a lot of stuff on startup. So like resolve loaded state. We find the missing users. Well, you know, add to missing users. Oh, and depending users. And missing users is just a list of strings for the user names. That's fine. Okay. So the user record won't exist until we get back the API fetch. So when we do add channel, it should just be, this is going to be to append, so it is going to get a little bit messy. No. That goes there. So we have missing users, and we're going to need a way to clean this up as well. Although this isn't preserved anywhere, so if you just next time you reload, it's gone. Equals model.missing users. That would actually be a prepend. Missing users name and pending users pending users. Now, pending users, I think only gets bumped so fetch next user batch. which happens when we resolve loaded state. We get back a batch of users. Well, this just adds it to pending requests, so it's not going to be able to totally overflow us in any case. But that takes a model, and yeah, okay. Just takes a model. Oh, and this modifies no persistent data. Okay. Fetch text. Oh, do you have batch? Request limit is what we're using currently. Oh, that's right. The first one, no, only the first one is a bar. And now the trick is, I could watch requests, so I don't have to worry about it. Well, an online channel is going to be the easiest thing to find. Hey, Lizzie, how's it going? Now, I guess I don't actually have duplicate check. Well, I could actually pipe this through missing users to do deduplication, but not going to worry about that right now. So we can actually watch this happen. But for now, we're going to need somebody who's not on the list. And then eventually we'll have to have a way to remove people, so that's fine. That's sort of typable. Users, streams, probably gonna be done at the bottom. All right, it's in the list. Now, what was I thinking? I didn't clear my input box, which means that's actually going to have to be part of the model in order for me to reset it. Well, no, actually, because it's always going to be blank. Value. Yep, okay, that does what we need. And now the problem here is that if we do like g squared, we're going to fetch that, we're going to add it, we're going to, yep, it's in there twice. Let's go ahead and checkpoint that. It should be a small change. Oh, that was already a small change. Fetch specified channel. Hostable. Add channel. Missing users model. Oh, model.users. Ooh. Oh, missing users is for the display, which is primarily to detect bad names. Yeah, because I mean, like right now, if we put blah, 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 we're going to request it, we're not going to find it, we're not going to list it as a missing user. Which is probably fine, because if we get user not found, it's not missing, it's just this is primarily to detect name changes, which we're actually going to sort of solve by doing this. But wait, it's missing users. Wait, if this is from model.users, oh, desired usernames is where, which right now is coming from the user list. And an event, we might actually need a separate variable here. For names that have been manually entered and not found. That's going to kind of replace desired from differencing that list. What was I trying to do? I was trying to dedupe names versus things that I already have. And missing users does not take an argument. It is just the difference between desired names, which you don't have a representation of now, and fully known users. So what I would actually need to do is do a difference between, or an existence check. Well, the set's cute because we can do bulk operations, but this is going to be a single channel. So a simple filter check against the list, I guess, would be the most direct thing. If list.filter user dot string dot to lower, yep. So desired does that. Missing users does that. So let lower equals string dot to lower name if this dot filter list dot to lower u dot display name equals lower in model.users and all of that now it's a filter. If it equals an empty array, then, right, and just end up indenting this, then we add it. Otherwise, it's a duplicate. Okay, U balance, U balance, U balance. Oh. I actually have to return something here. List it. Alright, so that compiles. So now we do fg squared. Nothing happens because we already have that user. Alright. Do not request duplicate users. Alright, so this works in a runtime sense. So I guess now I have to have some way to add comments. It is going to be a little bit more... it's not going to involve network stuff. Well, add and edit. How do we do that? And I don't necessarily want to be looking at an Xbox all the time. And I don't want to be just click on it, because that's be a fairly error prone. Actually, that reminds me. I still have some CSS in here that's indenting these things. That's LI. When we used to have the game box over there. Oh, maybe that's the LI. Yeah, that looks like the list indent. Which is... What is that? WebKit padding start? Will that reset it? Without having to do specific stuff? No. Oh, it helps if you get your syntax right. I guess it compiled? Okay, that in fact did do it. It's a little tiny fix that I just never remembered to do. Remove tag indent. Comment indent. Alright, so interface. Well, we're eventually going to need some sort of add button. That's eventually going to necessitate a remove method. And right now those are just simple strings. I could do a click on this. Expands it to include an X to confirm. I'm going to do something a lot more, well, I'm going to have to do something more fancy with the display here anyway. Yeah, so some kind of click to confirm is the best I've got right now. So right now we're just going list of text, and it's all the LIs. So we would need to turn that into some sort of well, oh, no, we've got the LI element. It's still, which is still going to have to contain more interesting things. I probably might want the display helper for this. Oh, and I'm not, am I using, nope, dead function. Remove unused function. Am I using display? Yeah. Display comment for user ID comment returning HTML message equals user ID comment. Oop. So let's start singleton text. Display comment. Stream.id, I think. Probably stream.user ID. That's what we have to use for our map, right? User for stream.user ID. Oh, that's... Oh. I was turning this into a function which did all this stuff. So now it's more like that, like that. All right, that is the basic abstraction. So I can add the click handler for this. Oh, this has to have the state information about what's currently selected, which I guess is just a model item that's a maybe user ID comment text as the current thing that is selected for possible deletion. Then I'm going to have to pass at least that information down to here so it can compare the values. Well, it's going to have to be shared. That can't just be a pair. Yeah, user games, missing users, pending, outstanding. Okay, the preview version is kind of a view thing. And it has to be in our model as nothing. Wait, really? Oh. Selected comment equals nothing. Okay. So now, display comment. So you are... I can't explode that. If I use a maybe versus a case... okay, selected comment of just nothing we display normally. If it's selected, then we have to say if ID equals user ID and com equals comment. Then we do something special, else we do this same thing. At least it's a simple statement. Then it's more of a case of text comment and All right. So now you need to be able to send a message. Select comment, string, string. Oh, we have to do this twice. I don't actually need the fields of selected comment, they just have to match. So we could do... How do I use that? Then we got a place to put on click. Select comment. User ID comment. Oh, yep. Hostable, update. Typically at the bottom. UI view dot select comment, user ID comment. Model or selected comment equals just user ID comment. Oh. I might end up with a custom type for this. We'll have to see. It's always a little bit suspicious when using the maybes. Command.name? None. And of course that does nothing. And oh, yeah, we're not even going to have that message. And arguably clicking again should cancel. Well, no, actually that is going to be clicking on that thing. That's a little bit more of a refinement. So that's already a thing. Commit -m, select a comment. And then we've got a button, which should have an on click. Remove comment. User ID comment. Hostable. And this is pretty straightforward. Yeah, not defined. Remove comment. Selected comment is going to equal nothing because it doesn't exist anymore. This, however, is going to become a more evolved update. So we do all our format changes. And users equals users list.map u if u dot user id u dot persist. What did I did id. If u dot id equals user id, then else u. Yeah. Yeah, I should probably just make this a function. That's getting a little bit involved. Or do we have little helper functions like this? Missing users, kinda. This is all the network stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's close enough. Remove comment from a user ID. Well, list user. Oh, this is sort of a thing that operates on a list, which the recommended way to do that is model.users. So this is actually string list user returning list user. User ID comment users equal. All right, now we're down to this. All right, user updating tags. This has been a list. And we don't have value in list, do we? Member. It only tells you if it is in a list. Okay. Tags equals list dot filter tag where tag equals comment. My terminology is a little mixed up. U dot tags. It compiled. Okay, did we send the message? Remove comment. I wish it didn't compress these. Are these alphabetized? Yep, still there. So something's breaking down. Oh. That would have been obvious if I had done one with multiple tags, which is probably not a bad thing to test. Okay, so we can remove a tag. Remove comment. I'm probably going to need to be able to edit them too. Well, no, I can do delete add. Edit's going to should be a pretty unusual operation. Which means I'm going to need some sort of little add button. That has implications. Okay, let's that map. Well, to have it in the list, let's do tags. Oh no, if I do list append with that format, oh, it's a single still puts it on the front. This reverses the direction, right? So we're going to have to do, given the list, do a list dot append list. Actually, some of these lines probably have gotten to a wrapping point. Except now we actually do need a handler. But no, I mean it can do something else. Except I copied that. Oh. I copied that from a place where it had variables. that aren't going to be valid. So this is going to be stream.userid. Pardon. Second argument to be list A, but is HTML message. Oh, wait. Oh, this isn't. We take the tags. We map them, which should produce a list of HTML message. Okay. So we have a list of HTML message. We add a HTML message. What the heck is going on here? Right, it's a single entry, which actually takes care of the parentheses for me. Oh, HTML is not list HTML message. The extra constructor threw me off. All right, so that's not going to do anything. So we need to add a comment to user ID. At which point the lack of IDs could bite me. Well, I guess I add a blank and select it, which is going to effectively mean, well, or do I have editing state separate from selected state? I could have a separate adding tag to player, and I just have to add a special display to that. Yeah, because otherwise if I allow editing, then I have to keep what it was somewhere, as well as what the edit is, whereas this would just be, we have a state for, which is another model state in and of itself. Adding tag to user. Nope, she got that backwards. All right. UI u.add comment user ID. Okay. I need better error messages though, because add comment could be both add the entry and click to the plus. And I'm out of water, so it's time for a break. Lovely dupes.
Come on. Danger, revive me.
Vote her out, come on.
Vote Lisa.
Lisa. No.
Vote Lisa.
Dude.
Danger. Danger. Vote Lisa.
En nu moeten we... Ja, ik denk dat we dit gaan verliezen. 1-0. Ga naar die auto, die auto is 2 HP, gozer.
Kijk, in de cirkel, in de cirkel.
Nice. Niet meer shiften, niet meer shiften. We hebben echt te weinig fuel nu. Nee, we hebben niet nodig. We hebben achter...
Nog eentje op zitten!
Oké, hou je wapen goed gericht. Jij moet die goede wapen hebben.
Oké, ik reload hem nu.
Pushen. Oh, hij is bijna dood.
Ik ben bijna dood, ja, help je wachten!
Kut, Amaro.
Nice.
Ja!
Okay, we're getting a lot of iron. That's good to see. We're finding a whole bunch in this outside area. Okay, we could get down here and use this. Anybody have any recommendations for the neural vacillator?
Mode, and I guess I'll select, these are really simple, so I'm in edge mode now, so I want to switch back to faces, alt, right click, guess go ahead and click, oops, that's not what I wanted to do, Control Z, alright, just right click, oh, just shift right click.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. If we dig this out, fertilizers are off. Yeah, these fertilizer synthesizers are turned off. That's intentional, because we didn't. We've got this section, and that one's going pretty strong. As far as it goes, the only reason they're all active right now is because we had a backup in the bathrooms. Usually they barely run. I think.
Hyper contract, not because I'm a liar.
I'm just digging up stuff now. I think it's been a couple of minutes. I feel like it's been a couple of minutes.
Yeah, come into my womb. That sounds so weird. Oh god. I just said something very stupid. Yeah, baby's cut.
Oh, there we go.
Alright.
En nu moeten we...
Welcome back. So we have a state for adding comment. We don't have to represent that. Oh. My messages were ambiguous. Does add comment mean show an input element for it, or does it mean we actually have a text, we want to update it? So I could do like create comment, but if you just look at those, it won't be obvious which is which. I think I just have to think about that. Because that's kind of a hard problem. And now we have the interesting thing. That this gets a little bit more complicated. Display, adding comment. We need streamed user ID. And that might be it. Oh, and the model. Model.adding comment. Really? Okay. Display, adding comment takes the maybe string, the actual user ID, and returns an HTML message. Adding comment state the user ID. And case, adding comment of just ID. We've got this little if match thing again. Maybe I could do that with maybe operations. Maybe dot map over equal with default false. It's not really all that different in size, but we do want to let adding equals ID equals user ID, nothing false, in if adding, then else. Oh no, this is technically a list.map. So actually we want, I mean I could set that up as a function, but really we want to say list.append list u. Yeah, that's only gonna be one element. So this moves up here. Alright, it's going to be LI. It's not going to be a directly clicked thing. Oh. I also need to turn that into a button, but I'm into this now. And now we've got this whole input box thing, which I don't know if I'll have a label for. Type text ID. Is it an ID? It kind of is only one. Unchained code. Create comment string. Create comment. Zip. Now it's going to be all mad. Cannot find variable stream. Ah. Pass down. Now we need to add the... So it was... Remove was the last one. Well, add was remove. The last one. Add was remove. Add was the last one we did. View dot create comment. User ID comment. So it's actually going to look a little bit, an awful lot like this. Because we're going to make adding comment equal nothing. Users comment model.users. So it's going to look a lot like this, except once we get down here, it's not going to be, it's going to be this dot append u.tags comment. And I guess I could actually do a prepend that'll look a little bit weird. Which would just be a matter of putting the special stuff at the front of the list, which is actually easier to do. Now, let's see if that compiles. And then view. Then it's just Oh, but this turn back into parentheses. Add the entire thing, not the function. All right, so okay. We're not saving any of this yet. We've got the editing facilities there. No, I did it all at once. Oh well. I kind of have to do it all at once to have a complete feature. Add new comments. Okay, add new channel, add new stuff. Uh-oh. Restream lost connection. Pretty quiet today anyway. Now, should we tackle keeping of stuff in local storage? Or import and export? Well, keeping stuff is going to be pretty... Well, the encode decode is going to be pretty straightforward. Well, okay, the decode gets a little tricky. The encode just has to add list. Wait, is that how? List. Yeah. List.map. String over tags. And then decode. Is going to be, well, it's going to be one of to get the previous cache. Field tags list string. All right, I guess I just didn't see it compile. I don't know if we've had any events that will actually trigger. Yeah, we've not had a... Oh. Speaking of which, we've got all these modification things. And we've got persist as a helper. So add channel. Missing users, pending users. This is actually not going to actually do anything. Well, okay, so adding a user, we're going to eventually need a way to remove a user. But this is going to do it. And add comment, no. This is going to do it. Oh, that's if we edit it. Ooh, I need to do something to set focus when I do that. Oh, actually, I guess we should see that's there. Application. Tags. Minus a. Save tags in persist. I'm not actually able to I don't think I'm quite set up to depreciate the old user list. Well, yeah, I want to get import and export working before I do that. Well, I'm going to need an export format before I have an import format. So probably the export format. So events and games are just... Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and add this to persist rather than making a whole new module. But essentially, we have our export format, which will just be list user. We can leave these off, but we'll need to have this extra thing here. Oh, but that can be the serialization format. It can't just be list user. So encode persist export is a list user to value. Now, you could possibly have it take a persist and only persist part of it. And export. Oh no, users is a. Okay, that compiles. Persist, exposing oh. Wait. I don't end up even using that. Okay. So now what I need to do is go back to my project from the other day, where I was playing around with some CSV stuff, and I did some download things, which is partly in the view. Drag and drop is the import size. File, it's import. Okay. Oh, I might have to package. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add base 64 to encode it. Oh well. Package install. Yeah, like that was just a test thing. Okay. Oh. Well, okay. I guess I should clean that up. And make sure you're okay, you're all happy. Yes, this. Yeah, I mean, I can actually have an empty export in this one. I mean, I guess there's no point in doing that. But empty is not going to be a very common case. No, GV. Get that to the clipboard. So this is actually going to happen in the view. If I could type. So commonly this would go with the footer, but like we currently have everything up there right now. So that adds. Actually, that'd be sort of useful in pushing things over. One needs to be a div. I don't really need it to be a div. Download as hostable.json encode model.users. That was the text. Oh, this is going to be a little bit more involved. Persist.encode. Now, I guess the model. If I tried to maintain a copy of it, I'd have to catch every place we might be updating users. But to actually run an encoder, again, target value, display box art. Export takes a list user and returns. And then, do I want to consider base 64? Yeah, that's part of the format. There'd still be one more step there. Equals. So now we have users. It's JSON dot encode string, something like that. Yeah, convert a value into prettified string. How do you stringify a value? Oh no, oh, the int is the indent, okay. Persist.encode.export users JSON.encode.encode 0. Actually, you know what? This is an export format. We should prettify it. And hopefully that will leave base64.encode model.users export base64.encode. Try and keep the parentheses under control. Persist.encode JSON.encode. Oh, and import base64. Oh wait, export. Yeah, we're just feeding this right in. All right. I mean, this could possibly be more compact. But that's a potentially editable thing. It's somewhat readable. Now, I suspect that if we keep on doing this, yeah, you're going to get the 1, 2, 3. That gives you a little bit of versioning, I guess. Anyway, I guess I will need an import that pulls out the user field. Now, is that get data download link, although okay, I'm doing that for a title even though it's not a link. This is like kind of terrible colors. Surely some of my other projects. You know what? That will kind of come along if I add credit stuff to this so I can publish it now that it's theoretically, well, eventually theoretically usable by other people. Actually, I should. Actually, call it export. All right. Now comes the tricky part. Let's see. I don't think I really need to mess with the drag and drop stuff. It was ended up being a little bit more involved. And for the most part, you should just be exporting every time you change something, so you've got a backup. And it'll need some kind of message about why you export and how it works in the browser and how you want to use that to share between things, and maybe eventually we add some sort of way to like specify the URL to a file so you could publish your list. So the import, we're going to need target files, not data transfer files. On change target files, input, files. Oh, and this is where we're going to need some, read the files, please. And file contents. And this just had to exist for some feedback stuff in the actual drag case. But you can actually drag onto a file input. So input type file. Our header's going to get crowded here. Alright, it's had a bunch of test stuff in it. Target value, whoa. Wait, download, I have a feeling, yeah. Really? We thought, okay. Files, and then alright, so change that format, just into code of a value, files, cannot find variable files, and now it's should complain that the other thing doesn't handle it. UI view.files. Actually, I might want to change that. And this was just files, harbor.read. Well, I'm gonna need to probably persist and stuff, but that is actually a command. The results have to persist. Do you already have a harbor? We do. Man, why you have to be so hard? What? Macam is so much nicer in that it actually supports the command. Copy. Alright. Log was just for debugging. Index.html. It's like I mostly have that combo down. It's just really annoying to type. I might still want the console file for now. Oh, Vue still is using files. And nothing actually checks that we use the response event, because that's just a port. File contents text. Hostable. Seems like we kind of go along with that. Now, technically, this is just file contents. But we assume that we'll only be attempting to load is that right? Yep, string. Loaded. Imported file. Text model command dot none. That compiles. Let's get me a downloads. Oh, it's so nicely formatted too. And I've still got a lot of debugging stuff in here. Okay. Index console.log. Where else are we printing from? Okay, so there is a little problem with that. This should be a one-time operation, though. Debug.log. That's the file list. Ah, okay. So drag and drop something we can deal with later. That gets us... That's a whole bunch of stuff just to get the file contents. Read imported file contents. And this might actually be something I want to hide behind a little switch or something. And it might also be possible to modify the text of this. We'll have to see. And now for the interesting part. Given an imported file content, I guess I probably want to do a resolve loaded state. And then attempt to do all this stuff. Well, I have to be careful with that, but that is going to be a total state reset. Now, loaded here comes in from receive loaded. Which we were able to... Oh. No, it's a... That was all JavaScript code. That's why we didn't have to deal with it. Subscriptions. Harbor.file contents. Well, that's awkward. Okay, I can see that. But this is where we kind of want to do receive loaded. And receive import. Which is definitely going to be a string. Actually, we should probably have imported. Yeah. So that's not a maybe. So we don't need that. So it's just string decode persist dot import. Ooh. I mean, maybe it can work as a regular symbol. Import decode error. Oh, then imported would be a maybe because it could have failed. Oh my gosh, my indentation is so messed up here. It probably means this indentation is messed up. Hmm. So since I didn't like start out with a maybe here, this could actually be a result. We kind of lose all this stuff. Oh right, this is just reports it. And then subscribe. Receive imported, and then we change our message to imported. Result string list user. Now this isn't going to be users, which is going to have a case. Well, we're not using the values, doesn't matter yet. Oh, actually, what we often do here is okay users or error. Well, we're kind of already printing it out. But persist.decode. Well, let's see if, well, that probably won't fly. Actually, that should just be there. But what do we call it? I really don't like the underscore thing. But if I'm going to put an arbitrary suffix on it, actually, you know what? We could call this decode the export. The same way as decode the persist. Persist decode. Oh, just left that entirely. Well, I guess we yeah, if we don't have anything in the application, we don't know if it actually imported at all. Oh. Oh, well, yeah, on loaded, we still have to do this stuff regardless of the result. On this, we don't need to. So we'll get the error regardless. Oh, this isn't a result anymore. So we decoded it here. Okay, that suggests a successful import. Now the tricky bits. So that's going to pretty much replace the model users. And then does resolve loaded state make sense? Current users is model.users. Well, desired usernames. We're eventually going to have to, that's going to eventually drop out. Tags is going to eventually drop out. Missing shouldn't be a thing because we're not trying to synchronize an external list. So I feel like it's overkill to current users set.member. Right, because that's actually removing things that are out. This.map. Updating the tags, which we should have that built into our persistence format. Missing. So I think we're gonna have resolve imported. And we don't currently expose an actual state wrapper for this. Oh. Pending streams is, and that's just model.users. Yeah, I don't actually need a full function for this right now. So we know that we've got a thing. So it's like this. Users equals users. Pending streams is that. Having imported the users, right, because that was from there, but this is an import. We need to persist that. There should be no users to fetch. And then persist is actually going to issue the command to do something. Well, in theory, I already got my exports. So I should be able to, one way or another, restore my state from that. So actually, that's the test. You delete local storage and import and see what happens. Which is going to be sad because I'm going to lose all my time data, but we'll refresh it as we go. Current users. Oh, we didn't update this. Also, I could probably, really, oh, there's no. What if I copied that? Nope. Can I copy that? Yep. Local. Right. Local storage. That actually does look like a JSON effectively. All right. So we've got a backup. Well, I guess I can actually try importing this into here. No, I think I have to reload first. Okay. Well, now I have to destroy it. Or, you know, it's probably still my paste buffer. Oh, that's pending streams. So I need to look at my model. Because loaded, okay, comes with a clean model. Games is fine. Live streams is events, it's a cache, it's fine. Live streams we have to reset. And as long as there's no in-flight requests, we should be fine. Imported. Live streams is none. Okay, that seemed good. Now we can go in here. As long as everything's good down here. Yeah. Oh, we lost somebody. Oh, but I still have my user list, so I can't actually get back to a state of nothing. Well, actually, that's easy to temporarily fix. Oh, right now... it's not that simple, because it also is currently... Well, no, on load it does the removal of people. So we have to delete this again. All right, now we are at nothing. And we're pretty much restored. We didn't get all the cached times, but that's fine. It's just cached times. We got a bunch of stuff in here. Decode and apply imported data. So now we are in a position where the user list is beginning to fall out of. All right, so view, user list. You don't even need to import it. So we've got desired usernames, which shows up in resolve loaded state, which we don't need to do because we have got interactive editing. We don't have removable yet, but you know. Oh, and missing users. But missing users is... well, there is no more missing users. We're working with IDs. We're not working with usernames. When we add a name, we check for the user, and if they don't exist, we don't add them. So actually, missing users was... the list of names we display. Missing users, missing users, missing users. Okay, we still have missing at the moment. Don't need to update that. Effect next game best, that's missing games. All right. So now we come back to desired usernames, which we're not caring about usernames. A desired username is you put it in the add channel box. So that's that. Resolve loaded state. Current users, the purpose of that is to remove users that we have removed from our list. Missing users, on resolve loaded, there should be no users that need to be fetched. And if there's no missing users, then pending users is just missing. Well, there's nobody missing. And user list. When we import a user, we add tags from the user list, but there will be no pre-existing users now. So current users add the tags. So they didn't used to have embedded tags, now they do. So current users, actually this is no evolution of the model at all. So resolve loaded state just comes down to that. Pending streams, state.users. So that's a nice little parody of there. Does it compile? Ooh. Oh. We did that. Removed the missing users. 283, probably the same thing. Yep, all a little picky syntax. 239. Oh. When we first import a user, which, yeah, gets called from a Twitch. So I guess the one thing that could be hairy is I don't know if I ever update the login name. Well, a lot of times, oh yeah, a lot of the times I'm displaying it from the live stream, which is updated. But this record will be forever fetch next user batch, which will be a no-op if there's nothing to do. But the user information will perhaps get frozen at our initial name. And I will need to do something else to handle that case. All right, so actually edit goes away. The README needs to be updated. Well, README needs a lot of updates. Don't need that. And then user list.example gets removed. Its status get rm source user list.example. There's no real the other one's ignored, so there's no real reason to remove it. Get rm bin edit. And did I? Yeah, I think I just got around to making a shell. I'm forgetting to actually use it. Remove user list. All right, and now we will, on rare occasions, need a way to remove a user. Oops, that got buried under moving windows around here. what kind of gesture would we use for that? Actually, I did kind of want to link this to game at some point. I could probably make this a target other window. So it's pretty easy for these. Although I don't have an easy way to deselect this yet. I mean, again, I've got the select gesture. So we could keep track of a selected user. Actually, let's tackle the README real quick. Usage. Yeah, so this is only example for this. Yeah, okay. So this is more of a building usage. Data is stored in browser local storage. For backup and transfer between systems, the list of users and comments tags can be exported and imported. I need to do a bunch of, just need to do some color stuff. Hit minus m basic pass on README. Oh, you know what? The infrequent edit version of this is download it, remove the person, re-upload it. That is a possible thing to do. But it seems kind of silly not to do this. So we've already got a message from the UI. Which is, well, host clicked. Pixelogic Dev, thank you for the host. And, oop. Oh, right, my initialization of the structure. Is that not what I called it? Oh. Oh, yep. So maybe. And we're not going to see anything out of that unless display live, display stream, stream view. Can I get a resyntax, please? And it does have the model, which is we had to have for this stuff. So where do we put? We've already got an input box, and we've already got an X button somewhere. All right, so button if model.selected user equals just stream.user ID, then all right, that is a little bit too long. I guess technically we're using that as the input level for the input thing. But then this, then this comes down here. Can it find? Oh, up. All right. So now we've got a button that doesn't do anything. Remove channel, and this is where I might actually want to go look up somebody new so I don't act, well, I might end up re-importing my old local storage anyway. Just to get my time cache back. Does it remove channel? Yeah, remove channel. And then we don't handle it. UI view dot remove channel ID. So what we have to do is we have to go through users and remove the ID. We have to go through live streams and remove the ID. And the rest of the stuff is cached, and I'm not that picky. But the live stream should disappear because synchronization. And then we're going to want to persist it. So users equals list dot filter u, where u dot id is not equal to user id. Model dot users, live streams equals pretty much the same thing. Except it's not u anymore, is it? Live streams, and this has to be a comma. Oh, and selected user equals nothing. Oh, what are you complaining about? Oh, because I haven't actually done my persist yet. Okay, gone from the immediate list. And if we reload, also gone. All right, and then we can go back. Whoop. Local storage. Picked up a carriage return there. Yep. And then we're back with our caches and tags and everything. Okay, cool. Remove user. All right, so it's approaching lunchtime. Is there anything else I needed to add? Well, I should probably dog food this for a little while. Oh, I've got some easy stuff. This is actually something that would be not silly to publish now. Hostable documents. Pick something like that. So this is where we can get our link colors as well as other stuff. We need to system copy paste that. So we got you, and then work. Can pretty much take that entire directory. So we've got all the references there, and then let's see, README, credits, README, credits, index, SVG, index, body, SVG, and then view footer. Yeah, that'll be fine. icon. View. And then main view. Model out live streams. Display footer. This is going to be hostable. Hostable. All right, I'm still me. I'm still me. Oh, I have to do like. Well, this one is actually doing that. I think we only need this. Oh. Right, because I'm already doing the SVG stuff, so that's not like an extra library. This is actually importing the graph that was doing. Oh! We actually do need this. All of that to use an icon. All right, and then check this link because that's a new one. Yep. So we got that. Now this looks much nicer as well. Git add work. Git diff. Add credits, also colors, export link. Okay, what else do we need? I mean, well, I know there's, I didn't bring up my to-do list today, did I? Oh, no, there it is. I got import, export. I kind of wanted to, since Pixelogic invited me to DevSauce, I wanted to see if it was possible to include community stuff in here. So that shows up, because I just haven't made time to go checking out who's there yet. I'm always catching up on VODs or, you know, finding work or other things. But that, I think, is going to be too big of an adventure for today. In fact, can I even do that? Docs. Oh, is my window too small? Yeah. Yeah, funky scroll, okay. Reference. After, before. Oh, community ID. Yeah, so if you, I could hard code that. Oh. One thing that would be nice would be autocomplete, but I don't think like users would support that well. I think you have to have exact name. And I don't even think you can look up streams by user login. After, before, community ID, game ID, language, user login. But I think that has to be exact match. And Users is going to be the same. Yeah. And this is auto complete. Name and recycling, emote. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be an easy way to do that. You're just going to kind of have to put in a name and pray. But if it appears or doesn't appear in their live, you'll get some kind of feedback. You'll have to scroll down currently. Yeah, so that was something I might want to do. Communities is something I might want to do. Otherwise, I think that's a nice wrapping up point. Yeah, so that's it for today. I think I probably did stay up too late last night. So I'm also getting a little foggied. We've actually got Hostable right here. And it should be reasonably fresh. But also, turn that off for next time. Lap I made. This is when I am typically live, so I guess closing up a little bit early today. Wasn't quite super wrapped up in something. What do we got? Anybody coding? Okay. I think I did him, well, last time. Yeah, so I do need to go scouting for, well, I like to rotate. We got lots of good people, but I do like to rotate. So, let me check on that. Looks like he started somewhat recently. Yep, Ned Mix Games is going. So he's somebody I've looked at in the past. Seems to keep up a pretty good narration of what's going on. He's got some little animated characters running around for the people in chat. So if you're looking for someplace cool to hang out, that's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Unless there's an early release on Astroneer, I'm expecting to be doing, it's not included this afternoon. As you can see, Thursdays are off for morning coding, and then we'll be back Friday with more code. Bye-bye.